If you're over 60, the word toxins is often used in a way that sounds dramatic, as if your kidneys were dirty and you needed a cleanse to flush them out quickly. The reality is calmer and far more useful. Your kidneys do not need a detox cure. They need less pressure, less sugar stress, less inflammation, and a steadier fluid balance day after day. One of the most underestimated levers is your first meal in the morning. Not because breakfast is magical, but because the morning is when many older adults start the day slightly dehydrated, more sensitive to blood sugar swings, and more reactive to blood pressure changes than they were decades earlier. So the real question is not, what can I eat to cleanse my kidneys? It is, what can I eat that makes kidney work easier for the next 12 hours? For many kidney dietitians and nephrology guidelines, one simple foundation appears again and again. Plain, minimally processed oats, prepared as a basic oatmeal. Not flavored packets, not sweetened mixes, just real oats combined with a sensible morning hydration habit. This is not a miracle solution, but it quietly shifts several kidney-relevant systems in a protective direction at the same time. To understand why this matters after 60, it helps to understand what changes in the kidneys with age. Even with healthy aging, kidney filtering capacity slowly declines. Blood vessels stiffen. Blood pressure becomes easier to elevate. Blood sugar becomes harder to stabilize. And the kidney's tiny filtration units feel that cumulative load. What makes this challenging is that early kidney strain is usually silent. You do not feel a gradual loss of filtration. You notice it later through indirect signs such as fatigue, swelling, nighttime urination, or lab values that shift after years of appearing normal. This is why kidney specialists focus so much on daily patterns rather than dramatic interventions. Small, repeated choices often matter more than short-term fixes. That brings us to the countdown, because the most important benefit of oats is not the one most people expect. Number 5 is hydration support, and it is the simplest. After a night of sleep, most people wake up mildly dehydrated. But many older adults extend the dehydration by starting the day with coffee and delaying water intake for hours. When fluid intake is delayed, the kidneys must produce more concentrated urine. That function is normal, but it is more demanding, especially for kidneys with reduced reserve. Oatmeal naturally pairs with a helpful habit: drinking a glass of still water first, then eating breakfast. This is not a detox trick. It simply restores fluid balance early, supporting steadier urine flow and reducing concentration stress. Over time, that steadier flow helps dilute waste products, lowers the likelihood of crystal formation, and supports more predictable kidney workload across the morning. If you are on a medically prescribed fluid restriction, this needs adjustment. But for most adults over 60, water first remains a kidney-supportive starting point. Number 4 is blood pressure load. High blood pressure is one of the strongest drivers of kidney damage because it raises pressure inside the kidney's small vessels. Many common breakfasts quietly push blood pressure upward. Processed meats, cheese-heavy foods, salted breads, packaged breakfast items designed for convenience rather than physiology. Plain oats are naturally low in sodium. Building breakfast around a low-sodium base reduces the chance that the day begins with unnecessary vascular strain. This matters because blood pressure spikes in the morning tend to be more damaging than similar elevations later in the day. A calmer start reduces cumulative stress on kidney tissue over years, not days. Number 3 is blood sugar stability. After 60, glucose spikes tend to be higher and last longer even in people without diagnosed diabetes. Repeated glucose surges damage small blood vessels over time, including those in the kidneys. They also increase oxidative stress and low-grade inflammation. Oats contain soluble fiber, particularly beta-glucan, which slows digestion and flattens post-meal glucose rises. Compared with refined breakfasts, oatmeal creates a more gradual glucose curve, which reduces metabolic stress on the kidneys indirectly. For many seniors, this also translates into steadier energy and fewer mid-morning crashes that lead to sugary snacks later. Number 2 is inflammation and the gut-kidney connection. The kidneys filter waste products that are influenced by what happens in the gut. Low-fiber, ultra-processed diets shift the microbiome toward patterns that generate more irritating byproducts and fewer protective compounds. Oats provide fermentable fiber that supports a healthier microbial balance over time, especially when they replace refined grains. This does not mean oats cleanse the kidneys directly. It means they reduce upstream inflammatory and metabolic pressure, lowering the background workload the kidneys must handle. For many older adults, this shows up as calmer digestion, more regular bowel movements, and better tolerance of other healthy foods. Number 1 is dietary load and long-term pattern shift. Many breakfasts skew heavily toward animal products, processed foods, and additives that increase acid load and nitrogen waste. Plain oats sit on the opposite end of that spectrum. They are minimally processed, naturally low in sodium, rich in soluble fiber, and easy to combine with plant-based toppings. This makes it easier to move breakfast toward a lower strain pattern without strict rules, tracking, or restriction. However, oats can become kidney-unfriendly if built the wrong way. The most kidney-supportive version remains simple: a moderate portion of plain oats, cooked with water or an appropriate milk option, topped thoughtfully. For many older adults without diagnosed kidney disease, additions like berries, apple pieces, cinnamon, or a small amount of ground flaxseed work well. For those with chronic kidney disease, portion size and topping should be individualized with professional guidance. The principle stays the same, but the details adjust. And one final clarification matters. Oats do not flush toxins in the way cleanses promise. What they do is support the body's existing elimination systems by improving hydration behavior, stabilizing glucose, lowering sodium exposure, and supporting vascular health. That is the kind of kidney support that actually lasts. If you want the simplest morning routine that reduces kidney strain after 60, it looks like this. Water first, then a plain, moderate bowl of oatmeal. Not dramatic, not perfect, just consistent. If you keep this habit for weeks rather than days, the changes are subtle but meaningful. More stable energy, calmer digestion, fewer mid-morning cravings, and over time, healthier blood pressure and glucose patterns that protect kidney function where it matters most. If you already have kidney disease, treat this as a conversation starter, not a self-prescription. Bring it to your clinician and adapt it to your individual needs. But if you are over 60 and want one morning food that reliably supports kidney health, plain oats remain one of the strongest, most evidence-aligned foundations available. Not to cleanse your kidneys in a week, but to help protect them quietly, steadily, and sustainably for the years ahead.